everybody. Fading out the music. I know there's going to be feedback and all kinds of terrible things. Hi, welcome to the show. It's Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide, the Mork edition. Now, some of you are wondering what do you mean Mork? What are you morking about? And those of you that can even hear this, I honestly am going to have to check in with you constantly to see if it's choppy, crappy, what have you. But I am at sea. I am on the ocean. I am, strictly speaking, I have heaved ho. And it's a long story and a bit of a sad one, but also I don't even know how to adapt this. So here's what happened. Friday night, Saturday morning, I start getting phone calls like crazy that we may be needed to perform on the Mork, which is the Monsters of Rock cruise. And it's because, tragically, one of the artists who was supposed to perform on this show, one of the band members, his fiance, leapt to her death from a previous cruise like a week and a half ago. Just a terrible tragedy. And you may have heard about it in terms of the band Faster Pussycat form on this cruise, and we were not. We were at the top of the list for replacement bands if anybody had to check out or couldn't do it, which happens all the time. So there was a possibility, but as we got closer, a week away, it didn't look like we were going to end up on the show, on the cruise, doing a show. And then, obviously that happened. And then it sort of escalated to how they're going to deal with this tragedy, whether the band was going to replace Tammy and do the shows or what have you. But it was such an extraordinary thing. I think they made the best choice and ended up canceling. And so we got a call to all of us to throw our schedules into a blender, and here I am. So really, really sad. No, thank you. I'm in a cabin. And so yeah, so here I am. And I have gotten oh my gosh. Hold on. No, thank you. I'm good. No, thank you. Hello? No, thank you. I'm good. Okay, hold on one second. Let me just hand me that thing. Thank you. No problem. Yeah. They they updated the schedule to include us, and so they're passing out a schedule to include us. So I am not going on a cruise. I am currently on a cruise. I am at sea. I am on my way to I guess on a loop, basically. Where that's as odd as this is, where I will make a loop down to what is this place? Where are we going? This is how fast all this happened. We're going to Great Stirrup Cay in the Bahamas, and then we're going to Nassau, and then we turn right around and come back. And I land on we come back into port 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. So that means I have to pre-tape the radio show on Saturday, which I will do Friday night as late as possible after I do 2 shows on the cruise. And then I have to race back, and my kids' spring break starts on Saturday. So my mom is flying him in, and we will arrive, if all works out, relatively close to the same time. Although we will see. It's just a crazy, crazy thing. So technically, I'm as worldwide as you could possibly want to be right now. But I have I will continue to do shows as best I can in this circumstance. So it seems to be fairly smooth. Yes, sound-wise, video-wise, it's all right. I bought the extra package because I was like, even if I have to pre-tape the shows and upload them, it took us hours to upload videos last time I was on the cruise. And so, anyways, it's pretty, yeah, I know it's pretty smooth. It was like terrible earlier. I think it depends on where we are. Maybe this time of day, it's when people use it the least. So fingers crossed, I'll be able to do the show. But yeah, and I had to shave because Nerd Halen. which was very apparently very shocking. Honest to God, I was having to shave anyways. I was going to have to shave anyways, or change the settings on my facial recognition on my phone because it was going. I don't think so. I don't know who you are. I don't know what this shit is, but it's ridiculous. If I had my hair down and my beard, it was like, "No, we think a biker has stolen your phone and we're not going to let it come back. So we're not letting you in your phone. This is a very big ass ship. It's crazy. So yeah, so I'm on a Norwegian cruise line, which great to my dad's wife, Carol. She's Norwegian. She would approve, I have no doubt. And it's 14 stories high, which is fucking bananas. I'm just saying. Um, it's a giant ship. And it's crazy. I spent all day at the gym because what are you gonna do? And then I will eat something at some point. Body clock is completely thrown into a cocked hat because I landed like we had to red eye out Sunday night to be here in time for launch, and I red eyed it at 7 o'clock. We had to meet in the lobby at 10:45 a.m. to get on with the artist row of people, which is a big process, dragging gear and having it X-rayed and all that kind of stuff, which is nuts. And yeah, I will be doing videos, posting them on my Substack, on here, and on my Instagram. Hopefully, I will be able to. I'm going to try Thursday. We don't have any shows, so I might try and drag this little setup I have up to the one of the bar area things if the internet holds on, and do a live stream from there, setting up this camera that I have and my laptop camera, and maybe being able to see two people at once. And I have two of these little guys, so I should be able to, if it's smooth like this, we should be okay. Maybe, I don't know. If it sucks, I'm sorry, but I'm going to give it the good old college try. And in the interim, I started the show a little bit early because I didn't honestly know if it would even link up, and if it did, it might take a little while for it to start. So hi, hello, welcome to the show. Sorry to throw everybody's schedule aside. Um, Thank you, crazy insane alien. I will try. Yes, the Bahamas, although there is no funnier group to go to the Bahamas with than a bunch of rockers from the 80s, because nothing goes better with beaches like black jeans, I gotta say, and pale skin. It made me realize how much of my time I spend indoors because of my own show. Um, but yeah, um, um, Let's see. Okay. I'm thrilled anytime I see your notification. Well, I'm glad they're still showing up. That's a good sign. At least I'm not being censored as much. Yes, flexible has to be our middle name, Mark. Because there wouldn't be a show any other way. Also, if you'll notice, Mark has an excellent, where is it? This way, Nerd Halen picture with him with us. So very appropriate to the show we're doing. Um, the connection's pretty good. Tickled to catch the start of the show. I'm tickled that it even started, if I could say that myself. Because there's no, yeah, Hal finally washed his face. I had to shave. And I had to like I wasn't going to shave until we had a show, but I had to make sure that the razor I brought with me was up to the task, or I was going to have to go to the barber shop here and see if they had a lawnmower, because my beard, however long it takes to fill in, is thick as insect hair, and I felt like I had. Thanks for being a member. Yay. And by the way, I don't know if I will see super chats or any of that kind of stuff if they show up. I hope so. Who's this guy? I see it. All right. But I'm just saying the internet was okay. I don't usually complain about the price of things, but I feel like I hosts option right here. Okay, first of all, it's Starlink we don't like. But it's $300 for the internet for the week, and then it's $20 per device. Now, would you think that in that circumstance that the first device would be included? If you're paying for the internet, it should at least be attributable to one device. Yes? You shouldn't have to pay $20 if you're buying extra devices like a computer or a phone. The computer or the phone should count right out of the gate. Yes? Is that not, am I a crazy person for thinking that? Because oh, that's very sweet. Thank you for the 666, Treva. Greatly appreciate that. For an upgraded life jacket. Hold on. Let me make this come up. There you go. For an upgraded life jacket. I can swim like a bastard. So I feel like I could make it. You can, on certain times, you can see the Miami coast until we get into the big, deep, dark ocean. And I really feel like sharks aside, I could make the swim. Although I will say it's chilly. It's one of those things where this is not the best time of the year to take a cruise to the. It's a bad time, but if you were going to plan it out, this isn't when you would go to the Bahamas on a cruise, even though it's supposed to be warmer, because it's chilly. It's actually chilly outside, which is fairly hilarious. Which is good because when we do a show on the poop deck or wherever we're going to do our show, we won't be sweaty as much as we were last time. So, anyways, appreciate. Let's see. Didn't know if I was early or late. I honestly, Carolyn, I don't know if I'm early or late. Let's be honest. Like, because the time here is so funky. Thank you for the vibes, JD Christie. Greatly appreciate it. So, there's a lot to cover. Let me see if I can. Here's the problem too. This is the other issue. Is that we may be totally fine until I try to play a video. So I feel like we should attempt a little video thing. And probably, I think, singularly, the most ridiculous thing is Trump's purchasing of a Tesla today. I mean, if we've ever had a used car salesman president, it's Trump. And this example was like, I watched part of this earlier and god damn, it was embarrassing. So let me see if this will pop up. Hold on. And then I've got echo cancellation turned on my thing. I might have to use headphones at one point. I have them around somewhere just in case. But we will see what we will see, what we will see. And Lord help us if it feeds through. Yeah. Did anybody see any of that today? Because there's a couple of things. One is, it is abundantly clear that Tesla's stock and everything is going down because of his association with Trump and the activities of Doge and his, they seem to blame it on that. But I would argue that the primary problem he has is his alienation of his primary customer base, which are the people that like electric cars and drive them, which are largely Democrats or people who give a shit about the environment. And in the case of the Republican Party, they have he sort of built Trumpism around the idea that you can have whatever car you want, but electric cars suck. They don't go very far. They're very expensive, and you can't start them in the cold, and they, all kinds of shit. And then he's shocked, I guess, when it negatively affects the bottom line of Tesla. I would argue that there is no salvaging Tesla stock in terms of the customer base being gone. Europe's not coming back as a customer base. The United States isn't coming back as a customer base. Trump is not going to talk maggots into buying an electric car all of a sudden, because where the fuck are they going to charge him now that he's gotten rid of the charging stations? And he addresses that in one of the things. So let's give it a shot. Now, I can't download for some reason, or I wasn't able to earlier, may be able to later, download videos so that we could, so that I could just bring them up as a file and watch them. I think that's what I'm going to have to do just to guarantee. But we will see. Internet be damned. Let's see, where are we? Where are we going to the thing? There's my comments and reactions. Move those out of the way, and then where are my? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Uh-oh, you're making it now. Gotcha. Okay, so they're just talking about what it takes to actually go ashore. I gotta say, I'm not that interested. I'm too busy. Like we have shows to do, and I wasn't planning on doing this, so I'll probably just stay on board. And if this works out, okay, maybe I can do regular shows as such. But I'm not gonna tempt the internet gods to have guests on. So the morning show will be just yours truly, probably for an hour, and then for the rest of the week so that I can also pre-tape segments to give to Chicago and use that time. So, yes, Trump, yes, there's a bunch of people like Trump can't drive. Exactly. That was a fun part of that whole thing. Also, so let's check this out. Let's see if this works. Hey, look at me. By the way, you're watching House Sparks Mega Worldwide at Sea, the Monsters of Rock Cruise Edition. Yeah. So let's see if this works. I'm considering today's show a test. If it sucks, I apologize. If it starts to get choppy and messed up because I'm downloading and uploading at the same time, please understand what I will do to remedy it. I will pre-tape the show and post it so we all have something to watch. And hi Chandra. Yes, well, believe me, I'm trying to be your fix as best I can, and here I am. Even on a cruise, I am here to serve. I will have to do about politics and economics to the people that I might have on as guests once we start diving into their political preferences, however silly or on our team they may be, depending on which side, would be sort of ridiculous. So consider those opposed to political shows. Buffering, we didn't buffer. Freeze. Uh-oh. Pause. Oh God. Are we buffering? Golf clap. There we go. You're cutting out right when it's because I played the video, because I showed a video thing and it freaked out. Damn it. Son of a God. Okay. Is it looping and it's back on that? Hold on. I'm not going to get the norovirus. Don't worry. Okay. So let's see if this works. I don't know. I'm also recording the show. Just so you know. So that if I have to post it after, you'll see it. So if it's choppy, I apologize. I'll put it back up. Okay, some buffering. Okay, that's going to happen, I think. Wish me luck. This is where, by the way, this is where it started. I don't know why they didn't show him coming out.
We have to go through this, and we can't let it happen. And aside from that, I happen to love the product.
I don't know why they're showing the booger eater. But hold on. I'm going to do this too. Settings, quality. Just turn it down to 360. Sure. Let's just I don't care if they look like shit. It's about me.
It's a lot nicer if you also happen to love the product, and he's done a really good job. Go ahead, Peter.
Is there, I guess this is for Elon.
By the way, Peter Ducey gets to ask all the questions, and not all of his are necessarily automatically friendly, although I feel like they are teed up. I also have a Kudlow video that I would love to do, and I might, again, if it's choppy, I may have to do this separate. But Musk went on Kudlow, and it's clearly a propaganda exercise. Like it is amazing how they're basically like, how do we fix the Tesla stock for you, oh master? It's amazing.
Musk, is there a discount? President Trump wrote the art of the deal. Is there any kind of room for negotiating here?
Let me answer that. I know he'd give me a discount, but honestly, I don't want to ask for one. You know, I'm president, so I want to pay full.
Yeah, it's taxpayers' money.
Price.
And what is your message, President Trump? Buying a new car, while there are some folks who will see this clip at home and they are struggling with their retirement accounts down at the moment. uncertainty about work ahead?
Well, I think they're going to do great. I think our country had to do this. We had to go and do this. They've taken away, other countries have taken away our business. They've taken away our...
Yeah, we had to go through, look, America, we have to go through a difficult period. Well, not we, I mean, you, obviously, not the president. I don't have to go through that. You have to. Me and this asshole, we got billions, so we can float through whatever, even if our net worth drops tremendously, it's still compared to yours. Well, obviously, we have a bigger cushion between fuck around and find out. And our, by the way, the fuck around and find out pillows are on their way. But so his whole well, we're going to have to go through a transitional thing, which I will not feel because I'm buying a car. The point of Ducey's question was, I think, a legit one. Like, how do you excuse this? Like, hey, I'm going to buy a car today, and here's my buddy, and like this fucking crazy Eddie deals kind of a I don't even know if you call this it's a commercial. That's what it is. It's a fucking commercial. He's doing a commercial for Tesla to apologize to Elon Musk because I get maybe Musk told him this, but that his association with Trump is somehow costing his business. It's not. Doge on its own is fucking around enough to find out. So if Biden had offered Elon Musk to come in and he did the exact same kind of cuts and was just kind of a belligerent bigot in the kind of stuff that he was doing, the sales price would tank and Europe would react the same way.
Jobs. I did it initially very strongly against, as you know, China and some others in the first term. And it was a very successful term. We had no inflation. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country.
And a massive pandemic and a recession that was caused by his tax cuts that the pandemic hid.
And then we had COVID, which we had to straighten out. So I didn't want to be doing anything with respect to other countries at that time.
Yeah, especially China. You didn't sanction them more, even though you were like, I think they caused it. As a matter of fact, you slowed down our response so you could continue to make a trade deal they never lived up to.
And we did a great job with it. We handed the stock market over. It was higher than it ever was. And think of that, higher than it ever was to that point before. And nobody...
Yeah, bless you, whoever sneezed. That's true of the Biden economy as well. And now it's crashing.
That was even possible. We did a great job. But we had the greatest economy in history. This economy, in my opinion, is going to blow it away. But...
Well, it's good as long as it's your opinion. I think, economists' opinion, Wall Street's opinion, stock buyers' opinions, pension funds' opinions. Your opinion's what we're worried about.
What I have to do is I have to get the workers back. I have to get the factories open. We have 90,000 factories and plants are closed from what you had just prior to NAFTA, which is not very long ago. 90,000.
It's a long time ago. NAFTA is a long time ago.
Think of it. 90,000 factories and plants are closed from what it was, and it's just not right.
Somebody just told him that right now. He's also doing the toddler wag right now, which is again indicative of he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and he's worried about being fact checked. Wag that he does.
And we gave it away. Presidents before me gave it away, and I could name every one of them. But they gave it away, and we're taking it back. We're taking our jobs back. And one of the things I'll say, by the way, speaking of Tesla, he manufactures more cars. I mean, he opened this incredible plant, one of the largest plants in the world, in Texas. Could you talk about that, Eva?
Yeah, tell us about the Texas plant that hired no one, that literally has so few humans working in it that it didn't statistically or materially change the employment figures of the fucking county, not the state, the county.
Yeah, it's worth noting that the Tesla cars have the most U.S. content of any cars on the market. So that
the most U.S. content. What do you mean? The electricity that's in the batteries?
It's American made. We have the biggest factory and the most advanced automotive factory in Texas.
Yes, the most advanced. That means automation.
That we've opened and continue to expand. And
yes, there will be more jobs not created than the jobs that already haven't been created.
So this is very much these are great products. The Model S is one best car ever. So they've all these cars.
Yeah, best car ever. They won best car ever in Best Car Ever magazine. Best car ever. Best car ever of 2021, 2019, 2012, 2013. Best car ever.
Incredible award. So they're great cars and they're American made. And I think
Assembled.
Try it. You'll like it.
Okay, try it. You'll like it. You won't be able to charge it anywhere because Trump killed all the charging stations. But hey, look, the Texas grid can handle it.
And I'm just saying, beyond the cars, they're great. But we have to celebrate somebody that has the courage to do this. He could have said, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to get involved. Let the country go to hell. And we're up to almost.
Sorry, all the other business owners in the country that aren't trying to get access to our Social Security numbers, those people are just like, I don't know, let the country go to hell.
$500 billion worth of waste and fraud and abuse. 500.
Nope, not even close. The website says 105, and even that is padded like crazy. They don't even, they list contracts that they've cut without the cost of what it cost to end the contract prematurely, or what the transition will be, or who's going to do that work once it's done, and whether it's going to be more expensive in the end than the work that had already been contracted, like or that whatever gaping hole in efficiency that is created by work that isn't done that needs to be done.
We give him $2 billion here, $2 billion there, not millions. It was a bet. If it was $1 million or $2 million, that's a lot of money. But we're talking about billions of dollars being given to defunct, scams.
No, you aren't. You're not talking about billions of dollars being sent to defunct scams. You just disagree with some of the spending that you don't like, and so instead of being an adult and going, I want to cut this stuff, you're just calling shit you disagree with fraud.
Given to people with nothing. They have nothing going. They open up a.
Yes, that's funny. You'll find that foreign aid especially tends to go to people with nothing. Food aid, interestingly enough, you'll find goes to people with no food. That's kind of the point.
Chapter S corporation, and they put $2 billion into it from nowhere, and we've caught a lot.
Well, obviously from somewhere, because that's alleged from USAID, I'm assuming, and then they put it into this corporation that then is in charge of keeping records and disseminating that money, and that you can see that, and that's why it was on a government funding website, and you did need Doge to look.
I wish we could catch all of them, but we've got a lot of them. And he's been largely responsible.
Why are you zooming in on his penis? Okay, that's a paper.
So we have to.
He's got notes. He's like, I don't need notes. Biden needed notes, but I don't even read notes. I don't need notes, but he's carrying notes.
Celebrate him. And it's not that he's conservative. I don't even know if he's conservative. I will tell you this.
These days
I've been doing this I've known him for a pretty long time. He endorsed me. I didn't know him that well when he endorsed me. But.
Camera work is fantastic. It's very, who is Sean Duffy in charge of this? Is this a real world cameraman that he had hired for the White House?
The time I've known him, he has never asked me for a favor.
He hasn't needed to. You handed him the keys to the Treasury. You didn't have to ask. He didn't have to ask. What more could he ask for? Literally.
He didn't ask me for this. I said, Elon, I don't like what's happening to you.
This was Lutnick's idea.
And Tesla's a great company. I don't like.
Tesla is a great company, yeah.
What's happening? It's from our standpoint, American cars, American.
By the way, I feel like, if I may, for one moment, kids, and I have a confession to make. And it's only come up because I'm on the Monsters of Rock cruise. But I've been hiding something from you for a long time. I own stock in Tesla. I have all of their albums, vinyl and cassette and CD, a lot of them. I don't have every album in every format, but damn close. And even in spite of the enormous investment that I've made in Tesla, I did not go see them perform live just a bit ago because I will not go see them without Summer, and she couldn't make the trip. So, anyways, that is the extent of my Tesla stock. And I feel like there should be some sort of, I should come clean about it. So, yeah, I do own stock in Tesla, the band. And I will continue to, God damn it. I will, as bad as Tesla the company is, if Tesla the band comes out with another album, God damn it, I'm buying it. I'm going to listen to it because they play live and they sound great with no backing tracks. They kick ass. They Hannon's a fucking beast on the guitar. I've always loved their stuff. One of their songs, "Hang Tough," is one of those songs that gets you through. So I'm just gonna say, like the cars suck. The Elon's an asshole, but the band Tesla is lives up to the name. It's brilliant. Okay, now that I've gotten that off my chest, I feel so much better after all this. So, love is all around you. I mean, come on. All right, here we go. Back to this dipshit.
He employs thousands of people. He's got, at the same time, he has the most modern plants
Hundreds.
in the world. I said,
It's the most modern plants in the world. What makes them modern? The lack of people he employs at them?
I don't like what's happened to you. I'm going to do it. I didn't even know he was going to come. He never asked me for anything. He endorsed me, and he never asked me. I didn't even know he was going to endorse me. The guy has never asked me. He's not saying, in fact, I could go a step further. I ended the electric mandate. Okay, I ended the electric mandate, and I figured, when's this guy calling to raise hell with me? And he never called. I mean, he never called me. If I
Well, yeah, you were already. He didn't have to call you. He was in the office with his hand up your ass.
were him, I would have called. Because he's
And a child just wanders away. I hope there's someone to keep the child from wandering into a cornfield, but who knows?
probably even better than I am.
Mr. President, is Elon Musk rubbing off on you? Is electric then the way to go?
It's not that I'm not. This isn't for electric or gas, because people have their choices.
Oh, he just took his jacket off.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I know people that have these cars. I know one man, we see him all the time.
Yeah.
He has 5 of them.
Yeah.
He thinks it's and he was a big guy for Ferraris and other things. And
He was a big guy for Ferraris and other things. Yeah. That guy, you guys know that guy. You see him all the time. He owns dozens of Cybertrucks because he can afford to own dozens of Ferraris. Really?
it blows them away. I know other people, they have 3, 4, they love them. They love them. And some people like the gas, and they should have their options.
Right.
I'm all about options. But I'm telling you, I ended the electric mandate, and I was waiting for a call. I said, did Elon call yet? They said, no, sir. The next day, what about Elon? Did he call? He never even mentioned it to me, never complained. Until this moment, I'm just bringing it up. Who would do that?
Yeah.
He is
Well, he's counting on other government contracts for his own pocketbook. He doesn't give a rat's ass about, and also, by the way, he feels like at some point the transition's going to happen anyways, and the transition, if he can force the government to buy a bunch of Teslas, that's a backdoor way to create the charger system anyways. You watch. I mean, they just bought like $400 million worth of armored Cybertrucks, which is like 13 of them.
never asked me for a thing. and he's built this great company, and he shouldn't be penalized because he's a patriot. He's an incredible patriot, and I don't even know if he's a Republican. I really don't.
Yes, sir. Yes, definitely.
The stock market dropped today.
Well, I'm not sure if it was. Well, you're going to have
stock is also
have drops, and markets are going to go up, and they're going to go down.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's just a thing. The markets are going to go up, they're going to go down. It's just how things work, you know? It just when you put on massive tariffs blindly and then take them off and then put them back on and then say you're going to go through them and then the volatility craps out the market and people are like nobody can buy anything to the supplies that they need except your buddies, obviously, where you give carve outs for Tesla to buy whatever it needs from China or Russia.
you know what? We have to rebuild our country. Our country has been stripped of its jobs, of its factories.
Then how did we get to 4% fucking unemployment? Seriously. Like, I'm all for reshoring manufacturing. The Biden administration was pushing to do this. Most of the stuff he's signing off on or applauding himself for was actually started under the Biden administration. But for fuck's sake, like, we had 4% unemployment when Biden left office. It's pretty close to full employment.
And I'm tired of seeing where they build apartments, cheap apartments in an old broken down factory. But you have factories all over the place that are empty for many decades.
Oh, okay. He's tired of seeing people convert old factories into apartments because we need more housing than we need factories right now.
Go, and we're going to change it around, and it's all taxing policy. You know, it's really a policy because we have great workers, great people. It's really a policy of taxing and incentives, and I'm bringing the incentives back. And I'll tell you what, numerous plants, and I don't want to mention specifically, but I'll mention this one, numerous plants in Mexico and other places.
Oh, he's going to tell this bullshit story about they were going to build this giant factory in Mexico, but they decided against it because he won or they thought he was going to win or whatever. And it's a giant, you know, he's referencing an automated factory that his buddy was making. And I mean, it's just bullshit. Let's just leave it there. It's just nonsense. Not true at all.
That were under construction or soon to be under construction.
Yes, soon to be under construction. Wait, so somebody literally killed a factory in Mexico that would fall under USMCA, and then they shut it down because they thought Trump was going to win.
Are now coming here, and they've dropped that because it was unfair what was happening. Mexico, they were building cars. They were selling them into the United States with no tax, no nothing. And in the United States, we were allowed.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody negotiated a new version of NAFTA that sucks. So let me get this straight. Under USMCA, Mexico was preparing to or allowed to, starting during the United States with no tax. That was USMCA rules. So the United States couldn't charge a tax on them because USMCA, good fucking God. When are people going to go, how did USMCA allow all this shit you're complaining about between Canada and Mexico? I thought you negotiated the greatest trade deal ever. It sounds like it sucks. Like the wall.
Them to take our jobs and take our factories, and we don't do that anymore. Now, from a president, it would be a lot easier if I just coasted for another 4 years. I would have been an 8-year president. I had the best economy in history in my first 4 years. I would have done very well with this one. And I had a decision to make. Do I want to do this or do I not? Do I want to do it right? The right thing to do is what we're doing. We're going to get our jobs back, and we're not going to be laughed at. Now, I will say this, that already Canada, and I respect very much, as you know, there's a very strong man in Canada who...
Yes, a very strong man in Canada who I like very much, who threatened me with something and then took away the threat, which is exactly what Trump is doing. And now he thinks that's negotiation.
Said he was going to charge a surcharge or a tariff on electricity coming into our country. He has called and he said he's not going to do that. Okay, he's not going to do that.
Here's what I don't understand. Why wouldn't Trump go straight into why are we getting any energy from Canada at all? Why don't we build a plant? Blah 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 blah. Right? he's just going to be fine to go back to, like, you would think a point of, Trump-ish strength would be based on the idea that, like, we don't need Canada's energy at all. We'll get by. This is a microcosm of his tariff idea. Why we don't even need it in the first place, and it might be a recession of energy in the time being, but we're going to replace it with our own energy.
And it would have been a very bad thing if he did, and he's not going to do that, so I respect that. But we were just informed that he's not going to do that.
By the way, how's the video smooth? Because I'm going to be caught up in doing the show and then forget to even check in with you guys. Does it look? Is it broadcasting all right? It might be time of day that I'm choosing that actually makes this a little bit better. If so, give me a thumbs up or something in the chat room so I can see it as it flails by, because it's very difficult in those regards. Yeah, let me know. I'm afraid to open the Discord and check in with CSL and Andrea, because it's another level of like internet draw. So wish me luck.
Look, we've been treated very unfairly by Canada. We've been treated very unfairly by Mexico. But we've been treated very unfairly by every country all over the world. The European Union is horrible, horrible. And we're going to get it back. And I have a choice. I could just coast, and eventually there'd be a blow-up down the road, maybe a long way. But we owe $36 trillion, and we're going to get it back. We're the biggest, we're the best, and I'm very optimistic. I have to tell you, I'm very optimistic about the country. Much more optimistic this way than if I did it the easy way. Yeah. I could have done it the easy way. I could have coasted. Biden left us a mess. Also, he left us tremendous inflation.
Wait. What? Oh, yay. Okay, my emotes are working, so I can check in that way to see if we got to figure out an emote code to see if the internet starts to suck. Wait, listen. Hold on. Yeah, hear that? That thump? That's the bass drum checking in the theater that's right next to my room, because the artists get the rooms right next to the actual event spaces, so that, because the paying customers would be annoyed because all night long, boom, boom. I find it very relaxing. I can fall asleep to heavy metal, so it's good for me. But anyways, jump. And I'm sorry I don't have the nut warning on this. I'll remedy that the rest of the week as well. So here we go.
High costs of products. He left us a mess, but he also left us a mess with millions of people that poured into our country that are criminals. Millions of those people happen to be criminals, and we're looking for them all over the place. We're looking for them in Homan and Christie.
Okay, if there's millions of them, why are they hard to find? Especially if you know they're criminals, meaning that they've been convicted. I mean, did they all cut their ankle monitors? Are they all hiding out? Or, I mean, I would get, well, it's a big country. Let's go with 10,000. That 10,000 people are on the run at any given time in the criminal justice system, and we're busy going after the worst of the worst. So some of them just, there's limited resources, and so you can't hunt them down. But if they're millions, Jesus Christ. Oh, you don't hear anything? You couldn't hear the bump bump? It probably is the noise reduction on the mic is maybe fixing it. Yeah, maybe that'll help it. But I gotta say, if there's that many of them, they wouldn't be hard to find. This idea that there's like a bunch of fucking Tren de Aragua guys running around with face tattoos, and you're having to like hunt them down like the fucking Winter Soldier, is dumb. How about this? I'm just going to float this idea. Maybe Homan sucks at his job. Or maybe you were lying about how many were in the country. Period.
Doing an incredible job. But he left us a horrible situation.
Yes, all these invisible illegals, 10 million of them. Oh, sorry, 15 million. 15 million invisible illegal aliens. All of them murderous gang members from lunatic asylums and insane commissaries. whatever. I've got ship on the brain. You know, running around the country, and they're all Hannibal Lecters in waiting. Ended in so well by standing out.
And we're changing it. But one of the things we're changing is we're going to make our country really wealthy again. We're going to
Yeah, you're going to change that. You do realize the U.S. economy was doing better than any economy on Earth post-pandemic.
bring our jobs back. Right now, we're like a chicken that's being plucked at from all over
Yeah, that's what we are.
the world. We're not going to let that happen anymore.
Yes, we're like a chicken that's being plucked at from all over the world. That's the way I think of it. I think as analogies go. Apparently, though, we've got endless feathers.
But very importantly, and I said it, Ukraine, ceasefire. Ukraine, ceasefire. Just agreed to a little while ago.
No. Ukraine is open to a ceasefire, and they said so. There isn't a ceasefire unless Russia says there is one, and Ukraine needs security guarantees so that ceasefire, lasts. So that means we're totally cool with it. While it happens, we're going to invite the French and the British and NATO troops in to help us clear mines and shit like that. If you don't mind, no pun intended, during the ceasefire, you think Russia's going to sign off on that?
Now we have to go to Russia and hope.
Yeah, you got a ceasefire with one party saying, yeah, we're open to the idea. We're the ones who were attacked. We're all for not being attacked for a little while.
Hopefully President Putin will agree to that also, and we can get this show on the road. We can get this horrible war.
Get this show on the road. That's adorable.
We're 2,000, 3,000 soldiers a week. Every week, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 sometimes. I get the reports.
Do you? You get the reports? Does somebody read them to you, or do they act them out in front of you? Does Lutnick put on an outfit and go and fall over the couch, and you go, "That's 1,000, Mr. President"?
Not American soldiers. They're Ukrainian and they're Russian.
Really? Really? Is that the problem? Do your followers seem to think that U.S. soldiers are dying in this? Like you've made them believe or something?
But people are being killed outside of that. People are being killed in the cities as things explode throughout the cities. And
so explosions in cities bad. Okay, look, progress. We'll take progress however it comes. Yes, I agree. Explosions in cities is right out.
we want to get that war over with. So I think it's a big difference between the last visit you saw at the Oval Office and this. So that's a total ceasefire. Ukraine has agreed to it, and hopefully Russia will agree to it.
Well, then it's not a total ceasefire. If only one side agrees to it, then it's not a ceasefire, is it?
We're going to meet with them later on today and tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to wipe out a deal. But I think the ceasefire is...
Wipe out a deal. Is that how you do it? You're just gonna take the deal and smear it off and go, that looked like a deal to you? Blech.
important. If we can get Russia to do it, that'll be great. If we can't, we just keep going on and people are going to get killed.
All right, well, sure. All right, that sounds like a deal to me. If we can't, we just, people keep getting killed. All right, but, 6 of one, half a dozen of another.
Is Zelensky invited back to the White House?
Sure, absolutely.
Mr. President, you mentioned the ups and downs in the stock market. You said it'll go up, it'll go down. But do you and your
mostly down
policies right now bear any responsibility for the turmoil we're seeing this week?
Biden gave us a horrible economy. He gave us horrible...
No, he didn't, actually. Not at all. He didn't. He did not, by any fucking measure.
Inflation, and I think the market was going to go very, very bad. If anything, I have a lot of very smart people, friends of mine and great businessmen. They're now investing because of what I'm doing. Because long term, what I'm doing is making our country strong again, financially strong.
Yeah, no, the oligarchical class doesn't care if the market fluctuates in that regard. If they believe they'll have a consumer base to work from, the reason why the stocks are going down is because they're going, oh shit, you're going to destroy the middle class.
Really strong, and strong if we want to get away. Remember this, we have wars. When I left, we had no wars. We didn't have Ukraine.
we were still in Afghanistan, and he had launched missile attacks into Syria, and the Houthis were still attacking targets, and he had said he got rid of ISIS, but ISIS was who attacked when we left Afghanistan, and he freed 5,000 Taliban soldiers. So how do you not have a war then? And of course, Yahya Sinwar and the October 7th attack was based on the fact that they did Jerusalem, the movement of the embassy, and the recognition of the Golan Heights so quickly that they believed that this was an overt push by his administration to push everyone out of the Gaza Strip and everybody out of the West Bank. And guess what? Nice job, Uncommitted. That's exactly what they got.
In Russia, we didn't have October 7th. We didn't have that disaster that took place with the withdrawal from Afghanistan. And
you didn't have any withdrawal from Afghanistan.
What's happened there, we caught the major terrorist, which Biden wouldn't have caught. Why didn't he catch him?
I don't know, too busy catching other ones?
I caught him 5 weeks into the presidency. I caught the man.
Really? What outfit did you wear? Did you show up at a fucking bar in Kabul and go, you pinched?
Responsible for Abigail, and he's going to pay hell right now. He's a
going to pay hell. Is he? Does he have a bill there? Or
dude, he's a bad guy.
He's a bad dude. He's a bad guy. Easy with the sharp language.
But we didn't have these problems. I had no inflation. I had a great
You had deflation. You had disinflation. Right, because the economy was collapsing.
Economy. He gave you high prices. You couldn't buy bacon. You couldn't buy anything. And also,
you couldn't buy bacon or anything. You could buy a Tesla, though, apparently.
I inherited a situation with eggs.
Yes, it's called H5N1, I think.
The price of eggs was through the roof. Well, now the price of eggs has come down a lot.
Really? Has it? Yeah.
Interest rates have come down. Gasoline prices have come down.
I love that gesture. Have come down. First of all, egg prices are there's no static measure in egg prices right now anyways, because it has nothing to do with transportation or production. It has to do with whether or not you're going to have to kill a bunch of fucking birds that get H5N1. And all he's done is change the rules at the Food and Drug Administration and at the Agricultural Department about, well, just because you're not going to get H5N1 from the eggs, we don't think. So you don't have to kill all the birds. That's why he thinks the price is coming down, and why the availability of eggs it's going to fluctuate until they deal with it. And they're not going to deal with it.
All coming down. It's all a beautiful thing. I can do it the right way, the wrong way. We're doing it the right way. And I have tremendous confidence in this country and the people of this country. Tremendous confidence, much more so than if I sat back for 4 years and had a good time in the Oval Office.
Sorry, tremendous confidence in this country to withstand a horrible recession and a crash of the economy just to right the ship in some way that you seem fixated on? That's what he means. I could just sit back and let this roll, but I have tremendous faith in the citizenry that we can basically, bootstrap our way out of this.
I want to look at cars.
Mr. President, I have an announcement to make that I think would be helpful.
I have an announcement to make that might be helpful. Well, how is he going to help with eggs and the cost of bacon and inflation and bringing interest rates that aren't going down?
As a function of the great policies of President Trump and his administration, and as an act of faith in America, Tesla is going to double vehicle output in the United States within the next 2 years. Double.
So what? Who are you going to sell them to, asshole? You're not going to double demand. And what are you going to end up doing? Just like sell them to drug dealers and warlords all over we're going to produce a bunch of armored. You're going to double the number of armored cyber trucks you're selling to like pedophiles and psychopaths the world over.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. And by the way,
who the fuck is applauding? If this is a press event, it's just like White House sycophants like, yay, another car no one will be able to afford to buy.
makes one car, This one I don't understand. This one I don't want, but that's okay. Without a steering wheel, it comes out next year. Right?
Yes.
Explain that.
Yeah, next year. Next year. You know how this year, when we get to next year, there's another next year? That's when it comes out. Always next year.
Yes, well, the Cybercab starts production in Texas next year.
Starts production in Texas next year. Let's see. December of 2026 is technically, and what does start production mean? Well, you could make a demo production model in December of 2026 with the idea that it'll come out in 2027, and then punt.
It's self-driving. We have so much confidence in the self-driving nature of it that it'll actually not have a steering wheel. It will not have pedals. It'll either self-drive or not drive at all. But
it will either self-drive or not drive at all. Huh. I'm going to go with self-driving. I'm going to go with not drive at all.
Right.
President Trump,
And I'm going to pass on that particular.
before this event today, when's the last time you bought a new car?
Wow. Well, I buy a lot through my children because they run the company now.
Yeah, and we use those as a tax dodge. So they buy a Maserati, and obviously it's part of our promotional fee because we got to look rich, and therefore if we don't look rich, we can't sell other stuff. So it's part and parcel to our business to look rich, right? I mean, Your Honor.
By a lot. I haven't bought a new car in a long time.
What was your?
You haven't bought anything, but how about a golf cart?
The only thing I know is the Beast. I got a big car with very thick windows and thick side panels.
Is that going electric? Is the Beast going electric?
We buy a lot of cars. Actually, I bought this one for Kai.
Do you remember your first car?
He said, by the way, he's saying that he bought a Cybertruck for a female golfer. He brings that up a couple of times. No. First of all, I think they gave it away as a gift was the idea, and to him, and then he re-gifted it as part of their live thing. The idea that he purchased the thing and handed her the pink slip is just dumb.
Giving you his decision about the electricity surcharge, and you said you were pleased about that. Will you make a different decision now about the tariffs on Canada? Will you reduce it?
At that, but probably so. Yeah, he was a gentleman.
That's all it took. He was a gentleman. See, my tariffs are just based on fart air, and if I feel like I like the whiff of his farts, then I'll take the tariffs off. It has nothing to do with the economic stability of the United States. It's just who kisses my ass and when.
He was a gentleman. Look, I said it before. We give Canada $200 billion a year. We subsidize Canada between all of the things we give them and trade. We don't have to have cars made in Canada. We don't have to have lumber from Canada. We have tremendous lumber. We have tremendous trees. All I have to do is unfreeze them from some of the restrictions that were put on. I can do that with an executive order. We don't need energy. We have more energy than anybody else in the world. So we spend $200 billion a year subsidizing Canada.
We don't subsidize Canada. We buy shit from them, and we buy more stuff from them than they buy from us because we're a gigantic country by comparison.
Have to do that. And frankly, the way that gets solved is Canada should honestly become our 51st state. We wouldn't have a northern border problem. We wouldn't have a tariff problem.
We don't have a northern border problem. And if the issue was like drugs are getting into that country via ships and then making their way across the border, which is questionable and I don't think is actually happening, certainly not to the scale that they're talking about. We would just be more responsible for the security of those ports and the expense there. It would mean 4 more military bases that would be fucking enormous. The absorption of the costs of the military bases that they have, just their National Guard and the like, would be tremendous.
They don't have much, they spend very little, as you know, the least of almost anybody on military, and we spend the most of anybody on military. We have...
Yeah. But they also, their border is fucking snow. and deep ocean.
A great military. I rebuilt the military during my first term. We're going to have to build it a little bit again. Not that much, but we're going to have to rebuild it a little bit again.
Rebuild it a little bit again, because the cupboards aren't fully bare like they were. They're basically full, but
Canada would be great as our cherished 51st state. You wouldn't have.
well, and 52nd and 53rd, maybe even 54th by territory. You'd have to make it wouldn't just be one big fucking state, because if it was, the number of people in it, and I mean, if you just want, I mean, effectively, maybe it's the benefit of having another giant California is what they're thinking. If you divided it up like regular states, it would just fucking swallow Wyoming and North and South Dakota whole.
Worry about borders. You wouldn't have to worry about anything. And
yeah, you wouldn't. Wouldn't it be nice to go to sleep and you don't have to worry about anything? Now that Canada is a state, you don't have to worry about anything. I mean, your relationships, your whether or not your dog, throwing up is a thing, or if it's just gonna, if it's just he doesn't like the food he ate, or it's you don't have to stop it. Just stop. You don't have to worry about anything. If Canada is the 51st state, it is the medicine for what ails you, ladies and gentlemen.
By the way, Canada is very highly taxed, and we're very low tax. We're considered a low tax nation because of me, because I cut the taxes so low. So the people of Canada would pay much less tax.
Yeah, but they'd also have to pay for health care. See, it'd be a huge trade-off. Like their taxes go way down, but then they would have to pay out of pocket for health care. It'd be a big leap. Unless, of course, as the 51st state, they would just decided, hey, maybe fuck this.
It makes a lot of sense.
Maybe we should fight for national health care now that we're a state.
And by the way, when you take away that artificial line that looks like it was done with a ruler, and that's what it was. Some guy sat there years ago and they said, rah. Well, when you take away that and you look at that beautiful formation of Canada and the United States.
This is the technate I've talked to you guys about.
There is no place anywhere in the world that looks like that. It's
on Greenland.
And then if you add Greenland, that's even. That's pretty good.
It's gonna look beautiful.
Okay.
See, did you hear Elon Musk just then? It's going to look beautiful. It's gonna. He's the one talking him into this. I have talked to you guys a bunch of this. Go look up the Technate of America map that Elon Musk's grandfather was fighting for. That it would be a country run by engineers at that time, but now computers, based where energy is the primary currency, and it would include the United States, Canada, most of Mexico, largely now the eastern part of Mexico, because they don't want the western part for themselves, because why bother? But then some like the northern part of the South American continent, and then God knows on from there. But the idea is that they would claim all this and Greenland as one big country. That's what they're shooting for.
I'm going to look at this. I'm going to
run. By the way, not run as a democracy. Run as a technate, whereas a technocracy.
Decision. Do you want to hear
AI effectively AI is the governing body.
my decision? Okay. What's your best of these cars? What do you think?
Well, the car that I drive is the Model S Plaid.
Which is that one?
That red one in the middle.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2 seconds. So faster than a Ferrari.
That's pretty fast. I don't know if my people can handle this. They're gonna be using it more. I'm not allowed to use it.
That's fast.
That's a fast one.
Just to be clear,
Also, yeah, you are. They don't like it. They'll push back again. But the president could drive a car if they chose. You just have to drive it in safe environments. You can fucking take it to Camp David and drive it all over the fucking place. If you could drive a golf cart, you can drive an enclosed vehicle. That's just a lie. He fucking can't drive. He can't drive a car. He doesn't know how. And even this fucking thing, which is basically like a Lamborghini posing as a golf cart or vice versa, he could drive it if he could drive, which he can't.
50%, is that going to go into effect on Canada or no?
Which one?
The 50% tariffs?
I'll let you know about it. Yeah, I'll let you. But I appreciated his call. I thought it was nice. This is beautiful. Whoa. Should I get in?
Yeah, get in. Yeah, and roll up the windows.
Okay. Let me get in this second.
On the Tesla?
Do you want my...
Also, there's this weird thing that, like, he seems to be focused on the idea that Biden, who drives a Corvette, couldn't figure out how to get in this car.
Yeah.
Because Trump has problems getting in and out of the car. That's what he's talking about. Like, and he doesn't like the fact that he's an old fart and it's difficult.
Notes. I said, I'm not Biden. I don't need notes.
Yeah.
He references the notes.
I took it.
Thank you. And let me get into this second.
Hold on to my notes because I'm going to need them. Why wouldn't you just go, like, give them to an aide or something? You know, why would you just put them in your pocket? Who cares?
Oh, what
You need someone to be your paper handler?
service go crazy.
This is a fucking this is Crazy Eddie for president. We're just watching this asshole give a car ad. That's what this is. You want to talk about like he didn't ask me for anything. Well, he got this tremendous support. You've got him running interference for you on X. He's got these Doge motherfuckers, sifting through Americans' personal data and running away with as much of it as they can carry on thumb drives or fucking even in their laptops, or just, I don't know, just plant malware and leave. And then all it cost, Trump was do an ad for Tesla in a vehicle he can't fucking drive.
Yeah, it's just a brake and an accelerator. You'll give Secret Service a lot of time.
That's beautiful.
Can you start it?
Should I? I'll start.
Oh, it's going to get around and go home. So, do you want to actually drive it?
This is the whole thing. Just start it. You actually want to drive it? It shouldn't even be that much. Just what he means is put your foot on the fucking brake and then push the start button. That's how all these work. It's how a lot of modern, ICE cars work, the internal combustion engine cars. They all work like this. Like, this is how long it's been. This is, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to the vehicle version of the George Herbert Walker Bush going to a grocery store and being amazed that they have laser scanners in the early 90s.
You don't want me to drive it, do you?
Yeah, yeah, we do. Yeah, everybody wants you to drive it. Just fucking, here's a good idea. Just parallel park it. It's already in the spot. Pull it out of the spot. Don't run it into the car in front of you or the car behind it. We would love to see you negotiate it out of a parking spot. I think it can do it automatically. Did that freeze? Am I frozen? Did it go away? Did I lose that? Did they pause the video? Hold on. Did the internet just die? Did it just run out? It says it's running. So did they freeze it just to cover his ass?
The terrorist.
Yeah. So they just froze the video until he got out?
Labeled domestic terror.
Look at that. He needed fucking help to get out of the car, I bet. And they cut to him already out of the fucking car. Seriously? Seriously. Like, they just pulled a fucking wall on everybody's filming and said, look, we're not going to show them hefting this motherfucker up out of this vehicle. They did it. Is there footage anywhere? We're going to have to hunt that down. Holy shit. They literally just covered for the fact that he can't get out of the car. That's amazing. I mean, it's not surprising, but it's amazing. They cut all of it out. Yeah. Look how he's odd. He stands weird anyways. Yeah, that's holy shit. Watch. Like this is kind of amazing. Hold on. Let's go back to here. Wait, okay. Maybe, hold on. Back up. That's him in. Frozen. Door open. Then no. Then.
I will do that. I'll do it.
Hold on.
Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists.
I will do that. I'll do it. I'm going to.
Okay, I saw part of this earlier in another take where they cut to him before this. So is this the fucking White House? This is Fox 5 DC. Now I got to go hunt this shit down. All right, hold on one second. 'Cause I'm not going to end up, I'm not going to have egg on my face about this shit. Hold on one second. So close that window, turn this one on, go to here. Da-da-da. Let's see. Let's see. I want to see. Let's see. Trump. Let's see. Trump. Tesla. Da-da-da. That's usually like what brought it up. This is another angle.
Scars. What do you think?
Well, 60 miles an hour in 2 seconds.
Okay, yeah. So here he is getting out of the car. Hold on. Yes, because I remember him saying something about him getting out of the car. Hold on. He specifically brought this up. They like he was like, you think Biden could get out of the car like that? Like this.
Mr. President, you gonna get wrapped in gold?
Think Biden could get into that car?
Yeah. See, that was what I saw him say that before.
No, that's beautiful. Yeah.
You think Biden could get into that car? Yes, I do. Yes, and he could get out as well, and he could also drive it.
The president talks about some of the violence that's been going on around the country at dealerships. Some say they.
That's Brian Glenn behind the scenes. He's like talking about the violence at the Tesla.
I'm going to stop them. We catch anybody doing it because they're harming a great American company. You know, I've stuck up for the NFL. I've stuck up for a lot of American companies and other companies, but American companies. I did.
And other companies, yeah, like the Saudi Aramco.
A very
Very big. It's Live. Yeah, he's stuck up for a lot of other companies.
favor for the NFL. I do favors for all. When you heard an American company, especially a company like this, supplies so many jobs that others are unable to do. When you do that,
That others are unable to do. There are other American electric car companies. Did they just not get the kind of treatment because they don't kiss his ass?
those people are going to go through a big problem when we catch them. And we have we got a lot of cameras up. We already know who some of them are. We're going to catch them. And they're bad guys. They're the same guys that screw around with our schools and universities, the same garbage. And no, we're going to catch them. And let me tell you.
Yes, it's just kind of like generalized Antifa, pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas, whatever, I don't know, just ne'er-do-wells.
You do it to Tesla and you do it to any company. We're going to catch you and you.
By the way, Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide isn't officially a corporation in the United States, but I like to think of us as a company. I mean, we've got a couple of employees, and I'm a small business. So if you fuck with me, Trump will destroy you, apparently. So you've got to let me continue to take the piss out of this lazy, belligerent dickhead.
You're going to go through.
You're like, Hal, which one? Elon or him? Both.
Hell.
Mr.
Okay.
President,
What do you tell
your
CEOs
comments.
tonight at the Business Roundtable? Especially with
Well, I have a roundtable to make it a little while. I just consider this much more important because I want to buy one of these. My whole staff is so excited because I told them they're going to safely use them, and they can't believe it. So, Mark,
Sorry. My whole staff, I told them they're going to safely use them, and they can't believe it. You're right. So the chances of it just blowing up is that why you had to say safely, or?
wherever you are, Margot, she's going to use it. They're all going to be using it, and they're going to have a good time using it. And if I can, oh, there you are, Margot. Look at Margot's right there. What are you, a member of the press now? I think she's become a member of the press. Takes great pictures. What do you think of it, Margot? Do you like the idea?
I love it.
Okay,
We're gonna have fun.
they're very happy.
Mr. President, your
Also, I don't know who Margot is, but I'm assuming she works in the White House, but it sounds like the more he talks about it, it sounds like the taxpayers are buying this and the White House staff will use it. If he's not, then he's saying this is a private business purchase by his own company for it, and he's got private staff, maybe campaign staff. Is that what's going? Well, that would be a violation. Is of the Logan Act, right?
They not ruling out a potential recession seemed to rattle the stock markets. The Commerce Secretary said there wouldn't be one.
Just so you know.
Just specifically on the recession.
Yeah. I think this country, I don't see it at all. I think this country is going to boom. But as I said, I can do it the easy way or the hard way. The hard way to do it is exactly what I'm doing, but the results are going to be 20 times greater.
Mr. President.
Yeah, welcome to the era of trust me, bro, economics.
And remember, Trump is always right, right?
So it was right to release 5,000 Taliban guys before we got our people out of Afghanistan, etc., etc.
And what do you say to
If
Americans?
you look at what I've said over the last 10 years, Trump has been right all the time. This is the way to do it. We're going to make America great again. You know, to make it great, you have to have jobs, you have to have factories, you have to have. I look at some of the things that, like this last administration, he was the worst president in the history of our country.
Well, yeah, if you believe, like his oligarch asshole friends, that high unemployment is better for business, and low unemployment means that people have negotiating power and it's better for labor, then yeah, I agree with you that that's what you would think and your buddies would think and what Elon Musk would think, because what's good for them is not good for the American people.
Nothing was happening. Nothing.
Nothing was happening. Just the infrastructure bill got passed and the rescue and everybody got vaccinated and life went back to normal and nothing was happening, though.
No idea what was going on. Our country went to hell.
It did? Well, it didn't stay there very long.
Then to allow millions of people to come in that are prisoners and mental institution patients and all
So none of the staff then. Okay.
the things, gang members, drug lords. We're searching them all down now, trying to get them out of our country.
Yeah, there's so many of them, but they're just they're crazy and dangerous, and they're drug lords, but they just blend in so well. You know, we're having to go cubicle to cubicle at Garmin factories, and
And we're going to do that. But on the
eventually simmer.
financial end and the economic end, what we're doing is, to me, it's the most exciting. Our country will be greater than ever before, and it won't take too long.
And what's your
Yeah, just hang in there, be broke, and watch the value of everything around you collapse. But it's going to be, trust me, when my buddies buy everything at fire sale prices because everyone is so destitute, you'll thank me.
to Americans right now, sir, who are worried about the stock market? What's your
I
message
don't want to talk about this. I want to go look at cars.
to them as they watch it?
That's pretty much it. The Cybertruck is with. Have you been?
Let's go see the Cybertruck.
He's wandering off into the darkness.
I did buy one of these.
So this is bulletproof.
No.
I mean, look, in terms of imagination, I think I have a great imagination.
Yes, you imagine that your tariff policies will actually work when they don't.
But this guy would design this, and everybody on the road is looking at it.
Yes, and giving it the finger.
It's amazing, actually.
Yes, the Schwasta truck.
As soon as I saw it, I said, that is the coolest design.
No, you didn't.
Do you agree with that, Brian? I mean, it's amazing.
Very cool.
Really? Brian Glenn agrees with you? The guy who's fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yeah.
Who, by the way, who lost his job while fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene? How do you get kicked to the curb by RSBN when you've got that kind of access?
To give him credit.
We want the future to look like the future, and it's kind of what kind of truck would Blade Runner drive?
It wouldn't be that. And secondly, it doesn't look like the future. It looks like, well, shit. Here, hold on. It's let's see. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. It looks more like. Hold on, go away. Play, you silly thing. YouTube. close this. It's based. Here you go. Hold on. Blink. It looks like this. It's the truck from Moon Patrol. Just drawn with a straight razor. Doesn't look like the future. It looks like an 80s video game car. It's the fucking Moon Patrol car. It's from 1982. That's what this is. That's what it was. That's where the design comes from. It's just a four-wheel version of the Moon Patrol vehicle. Dum-dum. Okay, speaking of dum-dum. And then they didn't paint it. That's it. That's the only difference.
That was the design idea.
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
The irony, ask again about Blade Runner and synthetic humans who do all the work.
CEO of Tesla while working with President Trump, is there any thinking on the future at the company as we're talking about Tesla? I'm wondering where you think.
And I can't hear the question. But
Yeah, I'm CEO of Tesla, and
You should.
yeah.
Any more plans of additional vehicles besides what you have now?
Well, we've got the Cybercab coming out next year.
The one with no steering wheel. Are you gonna buy one of those? We'll pass. We're too old-fashioned.
Yeah.
So, Mr. President, when you look at the market selling off, that
also, he keeps shitting on the Cybercab, which is really funny. I mean, I think it's probably the funniest part of this whole stupid charade. But it doesn't exist yet, and there's already like self-driving cabs on the market. There's one like that. I'm sure you've seen those, like whatever the Zoom or whatever it's called, the one that you've seen ads for it. Those drive around Vegas now. He's already 2 fucking years behind, and he's going to have to buy the self-driving software service the license from that company that has already mapped everything. It's, you either go with Google or you go with this company that is doing all the street mapping, because they're driving around with these fucking cars that have all these cameras on them that map out literally the terrain of every road so that your car can drive on it.
concern you, and
Nope,
where do you see it
doesn't
going?
concern me. I think some people are going to make great deals by buying stocks and bonds and all the things they're buying.
Yeah, just whatever. Stocks, bonds, even though they're at odds, the bond market and the stock market fight back and forth. Buy whatever you buy. Just buy it. One will go up, the other will go up. They'll both go up, even though one goes down usually.
I think we're going to have an economy that's a real economy, not a fake economy. It was a fake economy. They were putting in all government jobs. You see what happened last month? We had more real jobs, and government jobs are way down. That's going to continue. Those are real jobs. Those are
Yeah, because people who work for the government don't do anything worthwhile. Yourself, for example.
jobs that keep the country going. You can't have all government jobs. You have no income to pay the workers.
Yeah.
And a lot of those workers didn't show up to work. That was the other problem.
And President Trump, there's this protest leader from Columbia University that the administration is moving to
By the way, Ducey asks almost all the questions.
court, and he said that his arrest is going to be the first of many. How many?
I think we ought to get them all out of the country. They're troublemakers. They're agitators. They don't love our country. We ought to
Get off my lawn, etc., etc., etc.
get them the hell out. I think that guy, we ought to get him. I heard his statements, too. They were plenty bad. And I think we ought to get him the hell out of the country. I watched him. I watched tapes. Specifically, I watched tapes.
You did? They brought in tapes. Really? Tapes. In this day and age, so they wheeled a VCR into your office and hooked it up to a monitor, and you watched tapes.
And you can have them.
The tapes are, because I mean, they're a collector's item at this point.
You can
Wait a minute, are they beta or whatever? Because going by the Cybertruck, I'm guessing you're a big fan of Betamax.
have them. And you can have the rest of them. Let them go to school. Let them learn. Columbia used to be a good school. Now it's been overrun because of bad leadership. That's what happens. Happens to countries, and it happens to universities, and it happens to companies. And I don't want it to happen to a guy that did nothing wrong. He did everything right because he did a great company. But what he did by coming into government to help government from years of abuse, from decades of abuse, And you see that when you look at Social Security, where you have 200-year-old people.
You don't have any 200-year-old people.
The rules of say that's just
It's just a software glitch, but you err on the side of practicality in those regards. The checks aren't going out. They need a death certificate to prove that the person is gone. And so until you have that thing, you're not going to set an outside age on people's lives to go, hey, look, nobody lives past 120. So we're going to automatically cut off your benefits at 120 years old unless we get if we don't get a death certificate. That's why this exists. It was the choice. We either set a life limit on human beings in the Social Security system, or we leave it open and then we only pay out to people who can confirm an address and that kind of stuff. And once people get up there, then we have a Social Security administrator who checks in on those people.
for care. People don't
Yeah, and there's a little check next to them that says no checks.
care. Everyone knows this. But it's also, I believe it's also large fraud. I think it's that.
Large fraud. Okay. Large fraud. Okay. Do they have extra large fraud, or do you have a double XL? You might need a double XL.
I think it's also large fraud. So
It's large fraud, but it's also large fraud. Yeah.
I'm just telling people, this man is a great patriot, and you should cherish him.
No, I think he overpromises and underdelivers a lot. I think most of his companies skate on federal contracts. That's why he's sucking up to you, is because traditionally that's how he's kept all of his businesses alive, and his products don't keep up with his rhetoric ever. His robots are 4th gen pieces of shit compared to everybody else's 10th gen advanced models, and Tesla again is a jobless factory.
You should cherish him. You know, I have a little statement. We have to take care of our high IQ people.
Is that a statement? Is that can you tighten it up? I mean, you're a master of the media. So is there we have to take care of our high IQ people? Well, as a high IQ person, technically, I don't feel like you have my best interests at heart.
We don't have too many of them.
Well, you have one right here, and I fucking think you're a piece of shit. So.
And we got to take care of them.
Well, I don't like the sound of that. Also, because mafia talk, they'll often say we need to take care of that guy. So, you know what? Forget I said anything.
Well,
Look
you
at
talked
the
to
Social
President
Security
Putin
Administration, and you guys are looking for fraud.
Excuse me, miss. Please stop talking. Peter Ducey has another question.
And waste and abuse. Can you guarantee people who are concerned about an interruption to benefits that there will not be?
Yes, we're going to be very careful with any interruption to benefits. In fact, only by tackling the waste and fraud in entitlements like Social Security, Medicare, can we actually preserve those.
Really? And you're just going to be cool, maggots, with him doing the big Illuminati hand gesture? Because you'll recall when Obama did this, it was a signal to the Bohemian Grove homosexual pedophile cabal that he was still on the team, even if he was saying things. So this is how this is the King's X, as it were. When you put your fingers behind your backs and your back and cross your fingers, that meant you were making the sign of the cross so you could lie and get away with it. This is the Illuminati version of it, according to you assholes. And he's doing it right now. While he says we're going to protect Social Security benefits, he's doing the Illuminati get out of jail, I can lie to the stupid public hand gesture, which is exactly what you guys called it and thought it was. Alex Jones, everybody. This is proof that they are part of the cabal and that they get permission to bullshit everybody, or it's actually the other way around. It's not even the permission. They're allowed to bullshit the people, but this is just a reminder to the Illuminati that when I do this, I'm not telling the truth. So don't get concerned that I've suddenly found religion or gotten, I've started caring about human life. No. So this is just my signal to let you fucking know. That's what this is, at least by what they say. And you're just going to let that slide? Is that what's going to happen? Is that how it works?
Programs for the future.
By the way, it's not a hand gesture. It's what nervous assholes do when they want to talk, and they've taken some sort of like Toastmasters thing. It's very awkward. I don't get it. It's a dignified fidget is what it is.
Because with unchecked fraud and waste, we won't be able to afford them.
Also, he knows this is nonsense because even the debt that's accrued with Social Security, we will be making up with efficiency that will be created by AI and medicine and all these other things. That the cost of people's Social Security is actually going to go down by dollar amount. You'll arguably, once you reach a zero labor economy or something like that, then people's Social Security payouts doesn't have to be the same as they were when they went in, because you'll get services that are effectively, if food costs collapse, essentially, which is where we're headed in the next 10 years, then you don't have to worry about the debt that was accrued. It's just, they're just going to, and even if you're like not sure that will happen, I got news for you. That's what they think is going to happen. They're counting on it.
The president's very dedicated to solving the budget deficit, which if we don't solve the budget deficit, we're going to go bankrupt as a country.
Bullshit.
Go bankrupt as a country.
Bullshit.
There's no Social Security, there's no Medicare, there's no nothing. And to sort of echo what the president was saying, what really matters is moving people from jobs that are relatively low productivity in government to high.
Also, productivity is not the purpose of government jobs. Services are. And if you think of everything in terms of product, you're never going to make decisions based on people being able to stay alive, people getting their needs met. You're going to make them in determination of the value and productivity of people. That's how you get eugenics. These people are not productive past a certain age. Why are we paying them money? That's what this is that's where that goes. If that's your raison d'etre for your economic philosophy, there is no reason to keep mentally challenged people or physically disabled people or elderly people or children, with birth defects alive.
Productivity in the private sector, increasing the true output of products and services. That's the real economy. That's what actually enables Americans to have a higher standard of living.
No. Baseline standard of living comes from the fact that you have public schools and public libraries and public roads and all that kind of stuff. That is the baseline. And the quality of that baseline is higher than it is in other countries because of the output of the rest of the economy. So you want to you want the economy to balloon, but you also want it to raise the baseline value that everybody lives with. That's why you have public works, because there's no impetus for a private company. There's no way to make those things profitable on a one-to-one with any individual company. That's why it has to be done collectively.
That's what's happening. And
all of his vehicles are built to go on public roads.
I think that you'll see the truth of that in the months to come.
And we're going to make it really much stronger by taking people that don't exist or taking people that shouldn't be there out, by taking illegal aliens that are on Social Security or Medicaid and Medicare. By taking them out, we're making it much stronger. The country will be much stronger. But
yeah, at this point he's got to hope that there are 10 million illegal immigrants in the country beyond the 25 or whatever. He's got to hope there are 25. Then when he removes 15 million and they're all on Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security, and it's, even if they were, all of them, it won't make a fucking dent in the deficit.
Really be strong. I've been called by so many companies. Yesterday, as you know, I had a meeting with some of the biggest tech companies in the world, and all they're talking about, IBM was there. We had a lot of them. Michael Dell was there. We had a lot of great companies, Hewlett Packard, and
yeah, Gary Hewlett and Ben Packard were there.
All they're talking about is investing in this country.
Because the president of the United States called this roundtable, so they're not going to not be there. And they know that if they kiss your ass verbally at one of these meetings, the chances of you, adding a tax or fucking with them with regulations is going to go up precipitously, or it will go down precipitously. So they're protecting their market share. And it's never been easier. I mean, it's effectively like what he's bragging about here is how easily lobbied he is. That's what that is. That's what this is. He has a little meeting after this that he goes to, which is this business roundtable. What he's saying is, I met with lobbyists yesterday, the officials from the company. In the case of, they sent their presidents because I'm the president, but they lobbied me directly, and I listened to their lobby, as it were, and I will implement it because they kissed my ass or promised me something.
Sure, don't forget, they're looking down the road 10 years and 15 years. They want to make sure we have a strong country. They're all coming in. As you know, Apple.
Tim Apple, great guy.
Cook, he said that he's going to invest $500 billion in the United States. He never did that before. He invested in China. He's got his plants in China.
No, they're moving them out of China because China's effectively collapsing.
And now he's got them going to be building in the United States.
Also, by the way, the factory that you can build for $500 billion over 10 years in the United States is, I guess you could build 10 of them in China previously. So they're going to build a much smaller structure here, but they kind of have to because of IP theft and safety and national security. Because if they want contracts with the U.S. government, they have to build a certain number of things that they would sell to the U.S. government here in the country. And one of the reasons why you see people using different phones, a lot of them use Google phones in the White House, or they use flip phones, old ones like that, but they don't use Apple smartphones in there, even with the privacy stuff that's available on there, is because they're assembled in another country. And so they've got to build an assembly plant if they want the government contract.
And if I didn't have victory in that election, he wouldn't be doing it. And if I didn't say what I'm saying, and I'm being very honest, and it's much more difficult than just sitting around and having a great time. It's a very glamorous position if you want to do that. We could have kept it, but eventually bad things would have happened.
Sorry, what president doesn't age precipitously in the presidency, except for him in his first term, where he sat around, he golfed more than any other president, than all other presidents combined. Cost the United States almost 400 years worth of presidential salary just golfing.
Good things. I'm very optimistic about
which, by the way, give him a little time. He's already on track for that. He'll blow it out of the water. I guarantee it. At his own properties. Again, this will be how he keeps it.
I think we're going to have the greatest markets we've ever had, and it's going to be really fueled by what we're doing. You had to see these companies yesterday. They're investing billions and trillions. They're investing trillions of dollars here.
No. I think all in, everybody included, $1.5 trillion, and that's because of the Chips and Science Act.
They wouldn't have invested 10 cents.
Mr. President, will you
that they were already investing hundreds of billions of dollars.
Vladimir Putin about this ceasefire deal? Do you think you need to have a conversation with him to get the Russians?
I'll talk to Vladimir Putin. Yeah, I want to look. That's the other. It takes two to tango, as they say, right? So hopefully he'll also agree, and I really think that would be 75% of the way. The rest is getting.
Sorry, 50% of it is Ukraine saying okay, and then Russia saying okay is only 25%.
Documented and negotiating land positions, etc.
Land positions. Mm-hmm.
This week?
I think so. Yeah.
So and you anticipate meeting him in place on the Ukrainian side. How close do you think then you are to a total ceasefire?
I hope it'll be over the next few days. I'd like to see. I know we have a big meeting with Russia tomorrow, and some great conversations hopefully will ensue. The people have done a great job. Marco Rubio's been great. Mm-hmm. Steve Witkoff's been great. Michael Waltz. Every one of them, they've really stepped up. They are into it. They've
stepped up and on the neck of the Ukrainians.
They want to see two things. By far, number one is death.
That is, they want to see death. I agree. That's the one thing they want to see is death.
The people that aren't citizens of our country, but they're people, just like you. They're people. And we want to stop. And we also don't want to give billions and hundreds of billions of dollars away. We're in there for $350 billion.
90% of it was spent in the United States.
And there was no reason this war would have never happened if I was president.
Yeah, it would have. It just wouldn't have been a war. It would have been an annihilation. They would have taken over Kyiv in a matter of hours.
It's a very sad thing. Thank you all very much. I love Tesla.
Okay, CSL, I think we have a new sound bite. I love Tesla. That was a hard R. Is that?
So it's a very sad thing. Thank you all very much. I love Tesla.
They almost brought it home, and yet
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Mr. President, which car are you going to buy?
The one I like is that one.
How does this work?
And I want that same color.
All right.
Are you going to put down a credit card? Elon, would you take a personal
No, I'm going to give him a check. I do it the old I give checks.
Sure.
yeah, he's an old man. He writes checks. Yeah, that's why you should be happy that you'll never see him at the grocery store, and he doesn't even know the word groceries, because if he was in front of you in line, he would write a fucking check.
I like checks, you know.
I think his credit's good.
Do you still have
You know, I like a check better.
Uh-oh. He stops Elon so that he could say something. Old man barks at clouds.
This modern system of all of a sudden there's money in your account, nobody knows. I like signing a check. You sort of, but we're gonna pay, and I know what.
This modern thing of money in your account. You mean like how you got money from China?
Discount. He would give me a discount, but if I do a discount, they're going to say, "Oh, he got benefit." I don't want any
What
discounts.
about a vanity plate?
Yeah, let's see. Truth.
All right.
Well, he wants a vanity plate that says truth on it. TROOTH.
TRUTH. Truth.
He spells it. In case you don't, there's another. You don't give him a like a T5.
Sure.
That one got you by surprise.
Playlist gets downloaded as well. You can thump your music.
Yeah.
You can do it. I
sound
just looked
system's
at
amazing.
I looked at that dashboard. You can do anything.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
If you buying a Tesla will boost Tesla sales and boost
Well, I
their
hope
stock?
it does. Look.
Was that your
Nope.
Care about one thing. When somebody's a great patriot, they shouldn't be hurt. He's a great patriot.
And his son has great patriot boogers.
He didn't know me from Adam until we met a little bit when I was in my first term, but he came out, he
A little bit. You met a little bit during his first term.
endorsed me very strongly, and I admired that, I respected that, and I respected him for years. I respected him. And when there was a chance to help our government, you know, you're not going to use an average
Well, help himself to our government, sure.
person. Some people would say, well, let's use somebody that failed in business for his whole life. You know, this guy has been amazing.
Well, success.
And the
I mean, isn't that you? You're. I guess you were busy.
kind of thinking is it's from a different age. It's really from a different age.
Yes, the 1930s.
We said, let's cut 2%. He said, let's cut 60%. And he turned out to be right. And a lot of people are just not here. They don't work for us. I mean, they're getting checks and they don't work.
Yeah, they do. They just don't work in an office because post-COVID, a lot of people didn't.
You know, Peter, look, we have so many different stats and so many different figures. And it's so embarrassing to us as a country. No, we're going to have a streamlined country with good people. And one of the reasons, and I called for it wasn't a cabinet meeting, it was just a meeting of some cabinet members and Elon.
Yeah, it's not a cabinet meeting. It's just a meeting of cabinet members and Elon.
The one thing, and I think he agrees with me 100%, it's one thing to cut, but we want to cut the wrong people, meaning we want to cut people that...
Yes, that's what you want to do. It's important to cut the wrong people, like he did at the FAA or at the nuclear plants or the nuclear facilities.
Doing the job. We want to keep the right people.
Absolutely.
And I said, I don't
REICH. Yeah.
just say we're going to cut 50%. I want to cut the people that aren't doing the job, the people that aren't there, the people that are scamming the system.
Oh, so you're resigning.
And he agrees with that 100%.
And are you sure you don't want to take a test drive?
I'd love to do it. Maybe I'll do it some other time.
Yeah, it's some other time when the cameras aren't running and it's not, I don't have to get it out between two other cars, even though it's got sensors on it and it probably can actually get itself out of a parking space by itself.
Throughout your first term,
But considering the history of those things speeding for no reason and blowing up, probably not the best.
they're going to be
If you think the market's crashed now,
working together.
I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day. I think he'll know when it's time. Well, he doesn't want to stay around. He's just, although I think he does like it. There's no place like the White House. Okay, so maybe.
Do you want to stay?
I don't think that. I think he wants to get the job done, get back to his businesses. That's what I think.
yes, his business of buying and selling the private information of Americans.
So yeah, I'll stay as long as it's useful and productive, and if I can help the country, I'll stay and do so.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Good looking guy here. Right?
Elon.
Thank you, everybody.
This I will be less embarrassing, I guess, than when he got into the truck and went "Nah, nah," right. Let me show you something real quick. Let's see how many I got. Yeah, I got time left. This yeah, 4:30. Look at this. And by the way, we seems to be all right as far as streaming goes. Fingers crossed. We'll play it by ear. I think it might be where I am in the water too, what's available or whatever.